a lot of people, I think, come up with an idea and it's topical. And topical audience attraction is a valid approach in the sense that if you are interested in this and I provide you with unique and valuable information, then that's a way to attract an audience. It helps, though, and this is a copywriting principle that applies directly to content, audience building, etc. So the old school copywriters, guy named Eugene Schwartz, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was amazing. Worked in the 60s, basically. Became an entrepreneur, actually selling his own products. But he used to read lurid magazines that, if that were appropriate, not lurid, like the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
To us
I know a lot of
today.
copywriters that read that.
The Star or whatever, tabloids. If you were selling a product that was in sync with that audience, because he said, effectively, here are the words, here is your audience, here's how they think, here's how they speak. And we always talk about this and say, what would Eugene think if he had access to keyword research or social media research?
His head would explode.
Exactly. And yet, we have people going, oh, that's just for SEO. No, it's the most valuable thing you can do is to figure out the language of the audience. It's literally a view into their head. If you understand this from a cognitive psychology standpoint, how we choose to phrase things when we're looking something up or asking, it's important. And you have to mirror that back at people. So that's step number one. And the research phase, I think, is the part that people just gloss right over. And they're just like, I want to talk about this. Marketing 101. What's in it for them?
Yeah.
And you have to start there.
Do you guys at Copyblogger or any of your other enterprises, do you do reader surveys and that kind of stuff where you interact and let your readers tell you what they think?
It's interesting because that is such a valid approach, and yet we proudly don't. And I have freely admitted, and this is pointed out to me by Sonia Simone, who's a longtime business partner and our chief content officer, that I'm a big weirdo. I'm not a normal person in the way I operate, but I only observe. I listen, I watch obsessively, I think, and then I make decisions. And frankly, I think that's what a CEO is supposed to do. If your day is constantly filled up with shaking hands and kissing babies and all that kind of stuff that makes you feel productive, and you don't have time to think and watch and listen to what is actually happening out there, you can't do your job. And or I'm not smart enough to do all that and have time to observe and think. So I always say that social media is the greatest free market research environment ever made, because it's so easy with a survey to lead them to tell you what you want to hear. Focus groups, right?
Right.
We want
Same
to get
thing.
started.
Yeah.
They'll tell you what you want to hear. Don't ever ask someone what they want to buy. See what they buy.
Right.
That's the only
Two different
way
things.
to know. Exactly. So if you can properly phrase your questions and do your surveys without introducing bias, incredible asset. But there's nothing better than watching people unscripted in the wild, because you're looking for problems and desires. They're not going to, like Steve Jobs said, I should say, it's not their job to tell you what they want. It's your job as an entrepreneur to figure that out. But you do have to identify a problem or a desire first, and then you can figure out how to satisfy it.